Hi everyone, welcome back to the Statistics Lab, where we make statistics simple and fun. In today's video, we're diving into the concept of the paired t-test with a real-world example. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of how to perform and interpret a paired t-test. So let's get started. Imagine a nutritionist wants to test if a new diet plan is effective in helping people lose weight. To do this, the weights of 10 individuals are recorded before starting the diet, and then again after following the diet for 8 weeks. The key question is, has the diet plan significantly reduced their weight? Here's the data we'll work with. For each individual, we have their weight before the diet and their weight after the diet. In column 1, we have the number of individuals. In column 2, we have their weights before the diet. And in column 3, we have their weights after the diet. In step 1, we collected the given data. The sample size, n, is 10. Then we calculate the differences. By subtracting the weight after the diet from the weight before the diet, we calculate the differences for each individual. For individual 1, the difference is 75.2 minus 72.5, which is 2.7. For individual 2, the difference is 82.3 minus 79.8, which is 2.5, and so on for all 10 individuals. These differences will form the basis of our analysis. The sample mean d-bar and the sample standard deviation of these 10 differences are calculated using Excel, or you can calculate the mean and the standard deviation using any other calculator. The sample mean d-bar is 2.57, and the sample standard deviation is 0.65. Also, for this problem, we assume the significance level alpha to be 5%. Here, the weights are measured on the same individuals before and after the diet. That's why this kind of test is called a paired t-test. It can also be called a dependent samples t-test. The two samples of weights are dependent because they are collected on the same individuals before and after the diet. Okay, now we proceed to the second step. In the second step, we set up our hypotheses. Let the true difference be denoted by mu or mu-d, whatever you want to write. The null hypothesis, or H0, states that there is no significant difference in the average weight before and after the diet. This means that the true average difference is 0. This is denoted by H0, mu equals to 0. The alternative hypothesis, or H1, states that the diet plan reduces weight. In other words, the true average difference is greater than 0. This is denoted by H1, mu greater than 0. Now this is a one-tail test. More precisely, we can say this is a right-tail test. If you do not know how to decide the tail of the test, you can put a comment in the comment box, and we will create a separate video on that. For now, you can remember that if the symbol mu is greater than a constant value in the alternative hypothesis, then this is a right-tail test. Okay, now we proceed to the third step. To test our hypotheses, we calculate the test statistic using the paired t-test formula. Here's how it works. First, we compute the mean of the differences, which we call d-bar. Then we subtract the hypothesized difference mu-d, which is 0 in this case under the null hypothesis. We divide this result by the standard deviation of the differences divided by the square root of the sample size. This gives us the test statistic. Substituting the values, 2.57 minus 0 divided by standard deviation 0.65 divided by the square root of the sample size 10. Solving it gives 2.57 in the numerator and 0.2056 in the denominator. After simplifying, the test statistics t comes out to be 12.5. Hence, the value of the test statistics is 12.5. Do not worry about the calculation, because mostly these calculations are done using Excel or a calculator. If you have to do calculations manually with your hands, you will be provided simple data to calculate. The main objective is to understand the concept, not the calculation. If you are able to understand the concept, please give a thumbs up to the video. Also, you can message us on the Telegram if you have any other questions to solve. After calculating the test statistics, we draw a conclusion. The conclusion can be drawn using two methods. One is the critical value method, and the second is the p-value method. In this video, we will discuss both methods. However, any one of the methods is sufficient for drawing the conclusion. Next, we calculate the critical value and compare the test statistic to a critical value. For this test, we're using a 5% significance level, which means we're 95% confident in our results. With 9 degrees of freedom, the critical value for a right-tailed test is approximately 1.833. This critical value can be calculated using t-table or using the Excel formula. The Excel formula for the critical value is t.inv 0.95, 9. Here, 0.95 means 1 minus alpha, that is 1 minus 0.05, which gives 0.95, and 9 is the degree of freedom. The alpha is subtracted from 1 because it is a right-tail test. If it was a left-tail test, we simply put 0.05 instead of 0.95. Hence, the critical value is 1.833. In step 5, we draw a conclusion based on the critical value method. The decision rule says that if the test statistic is greater than the critical value, we reject the null hypothesis, and if the test statistic is less than the critical value, we do not reject the null hypothesis. For our data, the test statistic comes out to 12.5. Since 12.5 is much greater than 1.833, we reject the null hypothesis. This means there is strong evidence that the diet plan significantly reduces weight. Now the question is complete. The conclusion has been drawn. The conclusion is that there is strong evidence that the diet plan significantly reduces weight, but the same conclusion can be drawn using the p-value method also. If someone is more interested in drawing the conclusion using the p-value method, then here we go. Step 7. The p-value method. The formula to calculate the p-value for a one-tailed test or the right-tailed test is probability capital T greater than small t. Here the capital T follows the student's t-distribution with 9 degrees of freedom. The small t denotes the value of the calculated test statistic. This p-value can be calculated easily using the Excel formula. The formula is t.dist.rt 12.5, 9. Here dist stands for distribution and rt stands for right tail. Using this Excel formula, the p-value comes out to be approximately 0. Step 7. We have two things here. One is the p-value and other is the significance level alpha. The decision rule says that reject the null hypothesis if the p-value is less than alpha and do not reject the null if the p-value is greater than alpha. Since the p-value is much smaller than the significance level, we reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, both methods give the same conclusion of rejecting the null hypothesis. Interpretation. So what does this mean? At a 5% significance level, we have strong evidence to conclude that the diet plan is effective in reducing weight. This is a great example of how the paired t-test can be used to analyze changes within the same group before and after an intervention. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more easy-to-understand statistics content. Have questions or want us to cover a specific topic? Drop them in the comments below. Message us on Telegram for any other question. Until next time, keep learning and stay curious.